Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Okay, so for the final trivia question, what is the largest mammal in the world? Reminder, no phones allowed. Sir in the orange, phone away, please.
My Kid a Smart smoke alarm sent an alert through the Ring app.
Okay, sure.
No, there's smoke in my house.
Yeah, right. A smoke alarm texting you. That's a new one.
See? The train monitoring agent is calling now. Hello?
The Kidda Smart Smoke Alarm sends real-time mobile alerts in the Ring app. And with a subscription, emergency help can be requested even when you're not home.
Well, okay. Back to trivia. Oh, seriously? You in the green? Why are you on your phone? Blender texting you about a smoothie recipe?
Visit Kidda at KIDDE.com to learn more. A compatible Ring subscription is required for 24/7 smoke and carbon monoxide monitoring. Sold separately.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
My thoughts, of course, is that, we can't forget it's a game. We're just playing a game out there. And I am all for, passion, but to the respect of each other, it's unacceptable.
Victor Wembanyama talking about Spurs fans getting attacked by Knicks fans after Game 3. You've probably seen some of the video on social media.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Knicks watch party got rowdy, out of control. Knicks fans scaling light poles, pelting officers with objects, ripping signs out of the street following the team's Game 3 loss. 8 people arrested, 2 for assaulting a police officer. 13 others issued criminal court summonses.
And a pear tree.
And a partridge.
This is like Wembanyama responding. I guess somebody asked him a question, but isn't it like the TV people? Be careful out there when you're driving. It's treacherous conditions. I mean, of course. No, I think when your team loses, you should beat the crap out of other fans.
Makes perfect sense. But he got asked a question, so what was he going to say?
He should have started speaking in French.
Game 4 tonight, Madison Square Garden, tip-off set for 6:30 on ABC. Will Big Vic have another big game? Will Karl Anthony Towns finally score in the fourth quarter? Who will lose the turnover battle? Because the team that's lost the turnover battle has lost each of the first 3 games.
This time tomorrow, same bat station, same
bat channel.
I mean, come on. You're asking a bunch of questions over there. You're the sports specialist. Give us the answers.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't need you to ask questions.
Karl Anthony Towns will score in the fourth quarter, but will it matter? There's a question for you. He can't keep not scoring in the fourth quarter. I mean, eventually he's got to get a putback or something. It's weird that he's been shut out in three games so far in the fourth quarter. Wembanyama avoided another flagrant foul. The shove to the head and neck area of Jalen Brunson in Game 3. They're going to let that go, huh?
You told me that was a flagrant.
I thought it was. He's got to stop hitting people in the neck and face and head.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. But I think he should. But what good does that do?
They reviewed it.
They reviewed
watched it in
it.
slow motion.
Yeah. Of course, if they do that, then do they have to call something for the wrestling match that was going on the left side of the screen at the same time? That goes back to your point about this thing's hard to referee. People are fouling each other all over the place. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
When you talk to all the people involved, nobody is coming out right now and saying Aaron Donald is coming back. But everybody is acknowledging that it is a possibility. And the fact that it is even a possibility in June tells me that I think there's every possibility it will become more real in July. And I think if and when they present a plan to him as to how he would be used, I think it's more likely than not that he'll be back.
ESPN's Adam Schefter on the chances of Aaron Donald unretiring to join the Rams and push for one more Super Bowl.
Man, it could be more, and then I get to the point. He thinks he's going to come back.
Yes.
Right?
Where there's smoke, there is fire, and there's been a lot of smoke around Aaron Donald unretiring. A lot of times in these situations, we see athletes when they have a choice of when they come back for whatever reason, in this case, unretiring, but maybe coming back for injury. They hate the dog days of camp. They hate the early days, and they want to avoid them. If you've been sitting out and you haven't been playing for a while, it seems like you might need that a little more. So I don't know how much of that he wants to duck. But it's not surprising he hasn't announced anything in June. You don't have to. You don't have to make a decision until you need to. And he's Aaron Donald, so he can probably wait till July or August.
My parents smoked for over 60 years, and not once did we have a fire.
Where there's smoke, there is fire, unless your parents are lighting up a cigarette. Cincinnati Bengals restructured Joe Burrow's contract to free up more than $10 million in cap space. The move was needed to facilitate the trade to add Dexter Lawrence II to their roster and beef up at defensive tackle, because that defense was horrific last year.
Oh, a sieve.
So Brandon Ayuk's just going to say or do something every day until the Niners trade him. He's just going to try to annoy them.
Ask him. You're the sports specialist.
I think that's what's happening. He took aim at the Niners on social media again. Ayuk calling the Niners stupid and dumb. They mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for 2027. And I'm about to be on a new team in 2027.
What about 2026?
Maybe he'll be on a new team in 2026. I would think he would be. Eventually, they'll take whatever they can get for him. And the other teams probably aren't giving him much because they probably think they can wait him out. 5 law firms representing 98 NFL players have been accused of scheming to defraud the NFL's concussion settlement fund of more than $87 million. An audit revealing this, it accuses firms of working with a handful of doctors to furnish improper Parkinson's disease diagnoses for players, vying for compensation from the fund, which has paid out more than $1.5 billion to former players since its founding. Big pile of money. People doing whatever they can to weasel their way into the big pile of money. 5 law firms accused. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
What will the Big 12 do? Athletic directors had a call with the commissioner, Brett Yormark. The call underscored the league's athletic directors, except for Tex Kirby Hocutt, are united around the notion that Brendan Sorsby should not be eligible for next season. The call was the first in 3 expected steps to address the Sorsby situation. Tomorrow, the Big 12's executive board will meet with Yormark and review options moving forward, and then a meeting of the Big 12's full board of presidents and chancellors expected early next week. What will they do? What can they do?
Well, they can do anything they want.
Can they make it stick? Will there be another lawsuit? You're right. They could do anything they want. They could not play them, and then they'd have to expect that they'd get smaller checks from TV networks. So do they really want to do that?
If they didn't play them, they would get smaller checks?
Well, if 9 games don't happen that the TV networks want to televise.
Oh, play them. I thought you meant him.
No, play the game.
No, that's not going to happen.
Right. That doesn't pass the smell test.
No,
but it's to your point. There's stuff they can do that they want to.
What sanctions are upon the individual?
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
And Freddie Freeman swings. There it is. Hit number 2,500. It's a base hit to center. Freeland comes in to score. Ohtani goes first to third. So Freddie Freeman with a milestone hit. 2,500 career hits for Freddie Freeman.
Montgomery hits a fly ball pretty well. Deep left. And it is gone! He's won it! No chance! An opposite way. 2-run homer.
Highlights from Major League Baseball. Freeman gets the 2,500 hit there. He's 36, PK. Probably another 3 years to get to 3,000.
I'm reading Clutch Points, whatever that is, and it says the 38-year-old first baseman.
Ooh, 38.
So that's not to say this is right, but
I got here that his birthday is September 12, 1989, looking at his ESPN bio. Either way, that's still a long ways away.
Two different sites say he's 36. I just checked.
well, 36.
Could happen. But
I mean, if that was his goal,
yeah,
he can get awfully close. I mean, does he need it to get into the Hall of Fame? I don't think so.
I would agree with that. It's just a pretty cool round number, an exclamation point to put on your career.
2,500.
It is. True it is. There it is. And maybe the goal is you love playing, so you want to play as long as you can, and 3,000 ends up being the result of that. We'll see how long you can play.
Yeah, I think he can do it. But I wouldn't stick around to do it.
Right. But if he hits the way he has the last couple of years, he can keep playing.
Well, I would say the last 15 years.
The Dodgers facing Pittsburgh in Skeens. 2-2 game through 6, and then they break it open, batting around, scoring 10 times in the 7th. And they win going away. 12-3, the final. Skeens apparently spent 2 hours playing catch and signing autographs and spending time with little leaguers. Made an impromptu stop at some community fields Monday in a Pittsburgh suburb. He said he tried to stay incognito, but failed in that effort.
Incognito, not incognito?
Incognito. 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 Yeah, I don't know.
You remind me of Richie Incognito.
Richie.
A Phoenix kid.
Oh, he was?
Oh, yeah.
I remember the name. Didn't know he was a Phoenix kid.
A high school teammate of one Ben Criddle.
Really? Small world.
Criddle grew up in the same housing development that my sister lives in.
Oh, really?
Bel Air.
Multiple small worlds.
Yeah. And his father was on the Board of Education when my sister was a junior high or middle school principal.
Yeah.
So they knew each other.
Randy Arozarena, 2-run homer in the 10th. Mariners beat the Orioles 6-5.
In fact, Criddle's siblings went to the middle school that my sister was the principal. So we go way back.
I will stop at the baseball. There's going to be more Ben Criddle here. This is about three layers of Ben Criddle facts I didn't expect this morning. Chicago White Sox rookie Braden Montgomery becomes the 5th Major League Baseball player since 1900 to hit a walk-off home run in his Major League debut. 2-run shot gives the White Sox a 6-5 win over Atlanta. It's all downhill from here, kid. First game, and he hits a walk-off homer. Top that. Good luck. We wondered about Vegas after that crazy 15-14 game. 7-5. Vegas beats the Brewers in Las Vegas. That's a little more normal, PK. We can live with that.
Started out, I mean, I think they had 6 runs in the first 2 or 3 innings before I got bored with it and turned it off. Went to bed.
3-2 Athletics in the second. Yeah. But they slowed down from there. Bees lose to Reno 6-4. They'll play again tonight, 7:30 on the Zone.
And speaking of my sister, the retired middle school principal, hats off to Tony Parks for setting her up for a couple of Bees Aces games this weekend.
Oh, there you go. Way to go, Tony.
And they're going to get together, apparently.
DJ and PK.
#golf. Liv might not have enough money to even finish this current season, that the Saudis could actually pull their money earlier than they currently plan to. What can you say to that?
Well, I can say they've been terrific partners so far, and you have to take an incredible organization like PIF at their word, and they've been very public about funding us through the season. So we are full steam ahead. The players are locked in, the management team is locked in, and with advisors like Alex Partners and Gibson Dunn and our new board members, Gene Davis and John Zinman, Ducera's our lead bank, we're pretty excited about where we are.
I mean, can you guarantee today that the 4 remaining tournaments on your schedule will actually take place?
What I can guarantee is a heck of a return if you come invest in this business.
So that'd be no.
That's Live Golf CEO Scott O'Neill. Q&A. Are they going to finish the season? Meanwhile, the Rocket Classic in Detroit, Michigan will end after this season. The tournament's organizers announced the move is a precursor to the expected overhaul of the PGA Tour schedule, which could begin as soon as 2028. I thought they were going into major TV markets. Detroit's like market 14. That's not major. Or they'll come back with something else. They'll reinvent a stop in Detroit, maybe. I was a little surprised to hear they might be abandoning that market.
I can't even guarantee I'll be alive Sunday.
All right. Got no guarantees on Detroit. We got no guarantees on Live. We got no guarantees on PK Sunday. That's a tip of the cap to the 49ers right there. Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Here's a chance against your traffic. Jumped and they score! The captain again! It's 4 games and 4 goals for Jordan Staal. Oh, what a series is he writing! And it's 3-1 Carolina, and that is a power play goal. Jarvis all alone now, back out in front for Staal. A backhand, he scores! He scores again! Oh my goodness! The captain is unreal, his second of the game, and the Hurricanes have got a 4-3 lead with 13:28. Oh, captain, my captain.
Carolina evens up the Stanley Cup final. They beat Vegas 5-3. Another game, another blown 2-goal lead. Carolina was up 3-1. Vegas tied it up. But Jordan Staal stumbling, tipping over, swinging that stick like a bat, somehow knocked the puck in. Turned out to be the game-winning goal. 5-3 the final series. 2-2. They go back to Carolina now for Game 5. Mike Folta will join us at 8:30 to explain to us why these two teams with defensive reps can't get stops, PK. Everybody scores 3 goals every game. Nobody's been shut out or even held to 1 or 2 goals.
Seemed like a humdrum game compared to what we've had.
Well, it didn't have the chaos of overtime, so I get that. It missed that. But
basic NHL game.
It was still at 3-1 in the second. You're like, all right, Carolina's in control. Maybe this will be a little boring, and Vegas ties it up. And
but that's what hockey has no momentum. There's no such
thing. You're always one. It's a game of moments. It's the same thing Pablo comes on and tells us about soccer. It's a game of moments. And you get a moment, and all the momentum switches.
You know, Vegas had that opportunity off the face-off right at the end, and it didn't go. But that's hockey.
Yeah. And Vegas had the goal waved off by tenths of a second at the end of the first period.
It's a fine game,
yeah,
but we've had some outrageous games.
Yeah. They're off tonight. They'll make way for Game 4 of the NBA Finals, 6:30 on ABC, and then they will be back at it Thursday night. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, Mike Folta at 8:30, talking Stanley Cup Final. Chris Lowe, National College Football writer for On3.com, will join us at 9 o'clock. So Win Tickets Wednesday. We got Rod Stewart tickets, Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater, Tuesday, June 19th. We'll give those away coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. The question of the day next, right here on The Zone. Stay with us.
Welcome to This is Jay Scott and Ben Anderson.
President of basketball operations for the Utah Jazz. It is Austin Ainge. How often are those top names switching around at the top of a draft board? Does that happen this late in the process?
It does happen. We're trying to force ourselves to keep an open mind. Like, don't get locked in until we have all the information. Make sure we're processing everything correctly. We're almost fighting a consensus or predetermination. We're trying to make sure we go through it as thoroughly as possible before we lock in. We are fighting groupthink. We're fighting media narratives. We don't have a consensus in our rooms, right? Like, there's arguments. My dad and I fight every day about stuff, about players. Coach Hardy and I spend a lot of time talking through it and picturing how it would work with this guy and that guy. And there's a lot of opinions and I work with a lot of smart people.
Catch Jake and Ben afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Join Scotty G and the coach Tim Lacombe today from 10 to 2 at RGS Exteriors, 4235 Farm Road in West Jordan. Question of the morning. Bill Simmons thinks the Jazz are going to draft Cameron Boozer, citing Danny Ainge's preference for wing players. Are you buying Bill's take? Bum, bum, bum. Shay says, Bill made several good points. But you can bet the farm Danny and Austin look under every rock and will know everything there is to know about Peterson before the draft. If they pass on him, it's because there's an unresolved problem with him.
Not necessarily, though.
They could just think Boozer's going to be better.
Yeah, or whomever.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that's a guarantee that they think that this cramping or what have you, whatever it might be, that they're not going to get the full return on this extremely high pick. So they could just determine that this is somebody that they feel like is a better player. And I think fit, I don't think you can dismiss fit 100%. And maybe they think our team, Boozer, is, say they're close or even, whatever it might be, and you may think, well, we don't want to stifle the wonderful backcourt's development of George and Bailey, and Boozer is going to be just as good, so go in that direction. I mean, if there's a discrepancy, then you go with the better player. If it's a wide discrepancy, then certainly you go with the better player. But if you think they're even, why not go with fit? If you don't think that there's any difference in the production value that you're going to get in return, I think that's plausible. I would always advise, though, to go with the better player if they all believe and the Brain Trust believes that. We'll just use Peterson as the example that he's the better player. Then absolutely you take him.
Michael says, I don't think Boozer is a wing player.
He's got wing skills, but see, that's the thing about it. You have to be a perimeter player in today's game. The traditional power forward back to the basket.
Not happening.
No, I mean, you use that.
I'm going to go to the low post and you go to the high post and we'll just camp out.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Right. So he may not be the prototype wing guy, but in today's game, you have to have face-up and extended shooting skills. And I think he does.
Brad says, Bill's projecting again. Boozer isn't a wing. He's a power forward who can shoot from three. Okay.
Which is the same thing.
We're now arguing snakes versus legless lizards. Please give me the fine distinction and go. I have an uncle who loves that line. It's
right.
totally
I mean, you're right on there.
But I think then the thing is, and we all do this, all we're talking about is his offense. If you're going to switch everything defensively, how many players can he defend? And you go around who he'd be switching on to in the Western Conference, and like, okay, how good is he in this situation? Now, you can argue everybody struggles to a degree. They got to figure that out. But how many players can he defend?
See, I look at team defense, though. He could be the greatest defender in the world, but big deal. You have to, Majerus taught me that over and over. Defense is a 5-player assignment. And you can't have weaknesses. I understand that. But what's the difference if he's the greatest defender ever and you got 2 or 3 guys out there that can't defend? Who cares?
Right. And the point is that it's not like Jordan had bad games, but he also couldn't just automatically go off because Jeff Hornacek was out there. And Jeff would be the first one to tell you, well, he's taller than me and he's a better athlete than me. But you use the defensive principles, it's good team defense, and Jordan's 15 for 45 in a game. Now, Russell's taking him some, Hornacek's taking him some. People are switching. Nobody's got him all the time. But if someone is just truly a bad defender, then the best players are going for 40 and they're hitting 50% of their shots. I mean, they're just going to light those guys up. So you don't have to be this perfect athlete, perfect defender to get pretty good results if, like you say, you're in the system, you understand the principles, and you're a good team defender.
And you have a big presence at the rim.
Always helps. And that's why they put up with Ostertag stuff, because he gave him the presence at the rim. He'd check out mentally for a week or two at a time, but he was always 7'2", standing back there. And then we got Brady who says, well, Danny ain't in charge no more. Who cares what Bill thinks?
Well, if you're going to go somebody in charge, then that's Ryan Smith.
Ultimately.
Yeah. But
if Danny and Austin heatedly disagree, what happens? And maybe your point, the guy in charge, Ryan Smith, is like, well, you two got to work this out. I got to have a little bit of consensus here. Let's go.
There's no problem with that, though. I think they'll reach a consensus because they'll draft someone. And even if they don't reach a consensus, they'll still draft someone.
That's where it comes down to veto. And I think a lot of times the Jazz pick, it's been pretty clear they did reach a consensus, but there are a few times where we heard, they really didn't. It's just like, okay, you're in charge, you make the pick.
Well, that's okay.
The Azubuike pick comes to mind. Bo says, I feel like it's going to be A.J. DeBonsa or Peterson, but I know far less than Danny, Austin, and Justin. I think Bill's.
So do I.
I think Bill's general point is right. Love the wings, look at the history, look at who he's picked and valued, and look who's won for him. And I think you can go back to his playing career. He just realizes these 6'8", 6'9" guys who can handle a ball and move are a real problem. Ainge wasn't that guy. He's just not that tall, and the game's harder for the guys who are 6'2", 6'4". And he's
tall enough.
He is, but the game is harder. Does he generally value the 6'8" to 6'10" guy over the 6'2" to 6'5" guy?
Only if they're better, but that's a big duh.
Right, but he played, and he was a smaller guy, and he played with Bird, who's a 6'9" guy.
I think he's 6'5", 6'6". He's plenty for
thought he was like 6'4", but stand next to him.
6'6" with the afro.
No.
If you're good,
but
you're
the individual.
good.
But that goes back to your point. Yes, the individual. It comes down to this player, his skill set.
I think Simmons has at least a casual, if not a good relationship with the man because of the Boston connection for many, many years.
Yep.
So he comes out and says this, and I listened to the whole thing, and he's not trying to. He's beyond. Oh, I got to have a click.
Right.
I got to have a take, so I get a click. It was a discussion of a level-headed discussion. I don't even know who he was discussing with, but I listened to the whole thing. It was like about 8, 9, 10 minutes. I listened at the gym and passed the time on the treadmill, and I took it, okay, this is worth discussing because I think the guy has an idea of what he's talking about based on the proximity of those two living there. I'd have to think that there's some form of relationship. Obviously, he's a Celtics guy. He's made no bones about that, and that's fine. And away they went. And it was very, not calculated, but it was matter of fact as they were discussing it. He is saying, this is what I think. Not saying, oh, man, this is what he's going to do, blah, 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 blah. This is how I feel relative to what I know about the man and what he's done and the level of success that he's had and the moves that he's made, yada, yada. So all that stuff made sense to me, and I thought, okay. And plus it's Jazz, and you can't go wrong discussing Jazz in the draft at this time of year on our show.
All of that is true. And 47 comments, almost 50, that's a big number. And you put some other topics up, and they're all in single digits. This is the topic. And you're right. It goes back to we're getting closer here. We're 3 games down on the verge of Game 4 in the NBA Finals. We know the draft's right around the corner.
Yeah, we're under 2 weeks
out
now.
Yeah.
It's 13 days.
Bum, bum, bum.
The 23rd. It will be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days after the Rod Stewart concert.
Which is Friday, June 19th.
So, yeah, you can't go wrong discussing it, and I think that what he's saying is something that needs to be taken into consideration. Even if he didn't say it, it still needs to be taken into consideration. It's a possibility.
It is.
And it's not necessarily a remote possibility.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's going to come down to, basically he was laying the framework for how Ainge thinks, but it's still going to come down to who is the best player. And then you get the medical stuff and you get these one-on-one conversations. And you get a feel for who's going to get better and who can truly be a dominant player.
Yeah, there is projection involved. I don't know that any of them can truly be a dominant player. I'm not sold on any of them.
Somebody needs to be, or this draft has been oversold.
No, but you could have 5 really good players. And they're truly dominant players.
Yes.
I got 5 fingers. Give me more. Not fingers, dominant players. I'm fine with all 5 digits. They all do a job. And they work. It's just like defense. They all work together.
Very. You really were born to do this.
So you're missing one, and you have a hole.
You're born a generation earlier. There's no sports talk radio. It literally started at the exact right time for you.
Oh, when I first heard it, I thought, that's it. Literally. No joke. When I first heard it, I thought, that is it.
Right. But if you're driving across town 20 years earlier doing the same job, there's no there to hear.
But you could argue that I could have gone into that sooner and didn't have to go 23 years of daily newspapers. Not that I have any problem doing that. I'm not saying. But
I get your point. Career path.
When I first heard of sports radio, it was on from 10 to midnight.
Right. If you come along in the 60s, there's nothing. You come along in the 80s, you do the newspaper thing and then into radio. Yeah. But if you came along in the 2000s, you might have gone straight into radio.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's just up and running at that
point.
But
I'm not complaining. I mean, the path that I took, worked for me.
It did.
And I needed that path.
And you got to see and do a lot of cool things along the way.
No question.
I mean, you're still friends with all the guys from the newsroom that's been torn down in L.A.
Right.
And my gosh, the stuff you had front row seats to in the 90s, we're writing here.
Yeah. And there. A little bit, not as much, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, you get to sit next to Jordan in the locker room and make sure Jesse Jackson didn't throw an elbow and move you out of the way. Hey, you did your homework early. Like Matt Harpering said, you got to the spot and you posted up.
Jesse Jackson and Jim Belushi tried to elbow.
Oh, I thought it was Schwarzenegger, but that was at the golf tournament at Riviera, right? I'm confusing your celebrity sightings in L.A.
I was in Sylvester Stallone's way at the golf tournament.
Oh, a slide, not Schwarzenegger. Can't keep all your. You have been around so many celebrities.
He tried to push me out of the way. Well, I'm working in California.
I know.
It's obvious.
But even I was in Santa Barbara. There were celebrities.
Not as many.
The college roommate I was just telling you about, his little brother came and lived with us one summer and took a job working at this resort. Hey, how was work today? Pretty good. Almost got killed at 10:59 this morning. I'm like, that's oddly specific. He says, yeah, Mick Jagger was in a golf cart coming around the corner trying to make it before they picked up brunch. He was still in his PJs.
But I did.
I didn't get a Mick Jagger sighting.
I staked out.
Greg did.
Jordan where he'd come, but also the most unusual thing was after Game 3 of his first finals against the Lakers, my job was the Bulls locker room, and I walk in the Bulls locker room, and there's nobody there, and except one person sitting on the cement slab in front of the locker in the old Forum, which is still there, and it's MJ, and he didn't go to the podium, and
maybe for the last time in his career.
Yeah, he didn't go to the podium. And it was, I think, if I remember, it was an overtime game, and they wanted to go up 2-1, and then they won 4 in a row. They lost the first game, and I'm the only guy there, and he's just sitting there, and I go up and I say, "Are you available for post-game interviews?" "Yeah, sit down." and so I literally sit right next to him. And I probably had close to 15 minutes before the crowd realized he wasn't coming to the podium. I have no clue why he didn't go to the podium, but they must have had Pippen and I think that Horace Grant and those other guys at the time. Yeah.
Paxton,
and then they closed the interview. The podium stuff is over, and then I could literally hear the feet of people coming around the hallway to come into the visitor locker room.
That is so overplayed when I see that in the movies, when I see the stampede of media. It is so overplayed. It almost never happens, but it does happen sometimes, and that's totally a place where it would.
Yes, and then just the amount of coverage that was there this is 91 to 97.
It changed completely.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it
completely
was such a big deal that the Forum just had the regular media area, which was a decent sized room for the media to do their stuff. And at halftime, Nicholson would come in and shoot the breeze. Now, he didn't know me. I was not the Lakers beat writer, but I was assigned to cover the Bulls in the playoffs. And our beat writer actually was a famous dude, the Daily Breeze guy, where when Magic had his speech where he had to retire, he referenced Mitch, and AP put in parentheses Kupchak. It wasn't. It was Mitch Chortkoff, our guy, who had been a long time, he's deceased now, but he had been a long time beat writer, and he was referencing the good times he had with Mitch, and they put in Kupchak, but it wasn't. But that was such a big difference. And what series was the flu game? Was it the first series or second
97.
series? And so I'm coming in the back, and you talk about herd of media, and I come in and I make the right-hand turn to go the hallway, and just as I did, I see hordes of people and cameras and everything, and they're following Jordan in, and the word had gotten out that he was sick. That was amazing. Just the amount of people standing as Jordan was wherever he was coming from, coming to the Bulls locker room. Must have been 200, if not 500 media jammed in the hallway trying to get a piece of him walking to where, just thinking 6 years earlier after a game in which they win and there's nobody there but me. That was crazy, the amount of attention that the finals had increased in just 6 years. So, for what it's worth.
Bill Simmons thinks the Jazz are going to draft Cameron Boozer, citing Danny Ainge's preference for wing players. Are you buying Bill's take? Boozer, he played in the low post at Duke. He's undersized and under-athletic. I highly doubt he's an NBA wing. So I wouldn't think of him as a 2 or a 3. I would think of him as a power forward. But the 2s, 3s, and 4s, the way they run offenses, they're pretty interchangeable. And he had the ball on the perimeter for Duke a lot. Yeah. I'm sure there's analytics out there saying what percentage of the offense he initiated, but we see their games. He did it a lot, and he beat guys off the dribble from the perimeter all the time.
Listening to what Simmons was saying, this is my take on what he's saying, I don't think the emphasis was, we got to have him because he's a wing. Bill was not, that's the number one reason. I just put that in there because he was citing, and obviously it's Brown and Tatum. Are the guys that he liked and so forth. And so those are the two prime examples.
Paul Pierce maybe going back.
What he was saying was they took Tatum. The point he was making is they took Tatum even though they had Brown and Hayward. That's the point, the specific point he was making.
He loves wings so much, he'll stack them 3 deep. So don't think he won't take Boozer because he has Jackson and Markkanen.
That's the literal point he was making.
Which also, and this goes to your point about fit, they should draft the best player. But when it's really close, he fits, even though he's a third guy in that position, because he's going to be a decade younger than those guys. Ish, not exactly. But
you're talking about this literal
7 to
one
10
now.
years.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, as these guys get older, get more expensive, move on, break down physically, whatever, Boozer's moving along. The separation in age, I think, makes it far more palatable. And to your point, even if they were the same age, it still might be a good idea.
He will be drafted at 18 years of age. He does not, I've got in front of me, he does not turn 19 till July 18th. That is seriously young.
It is. And he's really good. I mean, he went to the top of the key, or maybe I can see these in my mind. I see these plays where he's just like the camera is at midcourt on the ground, handheld, and he's slightly to the left of the top of the key, and you can see him, you can see a defender, you can see the hoop. And he beats a defender, and he changes, and he finishes with either hand, or he shoots a floater, or he dunks. I mean, just He's really good going to the hoop. And he is not going to be the best athlete on the floor. I totally get that. You don't have to argue that.
Well, is he
but
the
he
most
still has a way.
effective?
Exactly. He has a way of being effective.
Brunson is not
and
the most
getting the shot
gifted.
off.
He's short, and he's not super athletic.
And I can just see him charging the rim so many times thinking there's not much space there, but he finds it and he scores.
And they also, Bill also acknowledged the Devonta Boozer connection to the Jazz.
Right.
Or connections.
Yeah.
And saying that is an issue. Now, it's not as big of an issue as some folks make, but it is somewhat of an issue. But he's saying he doesn't think it would be an issue with him, with his father, and the history, of course.
Well, it gives you deeper knowledge and maybe more trust that you're going to get the best version of who you're drafting. Because none of these guys are the finished version of who they're going to be.
He didn't turn 19 until next month. Suck. Man, that's amazing. He'll be drafted as an 18-year-old.
And Markkanen's 29 and Jackson's 26. So look at the separation you're getting in age there.
Yeah. And Larry Bird was 5 years removed from high school. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and those guys play 4 years of college.
I did hear that people comparing Wembanyama and his first appearance in the finals to Bird and his first appearance. I guess the point was in Bird's first appearance, he had like an 8-point game. I remember he had a couple of them. And so I didn't either. And so, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, but Bird was like 24 at that point. I mean, Wembanyama's way younger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DJ and PK. More of this coming up. Mike Fultz is coming at 8:30. Utah Mammoth radio voice. We'll talk Stanley Cup final with him. Chris Lowe, National College Football writer for On3.com at 9 o'clock. A Win Tickets Wednesday. Rod Stewart, a week from Friday, the 19th, at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll give away those tickets in the 8 o'clock hour. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeComb.
Shehan Jayaraja, CBS, joins us. We're all shocked. I know everybody's shocked. The only people that seem to be happy about this is Brandon Sorsby and Texas Tech coaches and fans. How shocked are you that this went down the way it did?
I thought that the case that the NCAA laid out was pretty reasonable. In sports in general, right, there is a bright red line around one thing, and it's that you do not gamble on sports and that you do not gamble on your own games. This is something that impacts the perceived integrity of the sport. The idea that there are people on the playing surface who could be manipulating the game for whatever reason, right? And so that to me remains, in my eyes, a bright red line. This is really one of the first instances in sports, period, professional, college, any level, that we've seen it impacted like this.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay, so for the final trivia question, what is the largest mammal in the world? Reminder, no phones allowed. Sir in the orange, phone away, please.
My kid a smart smoke alarm sent an alert through the Ring app.
Okay, sure.
No, there's smoke in my house.
Yeah, right. A smoke alarm texting you. That's a new one.
See? The train monitoring agent is calling now. Hello?
The Kidda Smart Smoke Alarm sends real-time mobile alerts in the Ring app. And with a subscription, emergency help can be requested even when you're not home.
Well, okay. Back to trivia. Oh, seriously? You in the green? Why are you on your phone? Blender texting you about a smoothie recipe?
Visit Kidda at KIDDE.com to learn more. A compatible Ring subscription is required for 24/7 smoke and carbon monoxide monitoring. Sold separately.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday to Jake and Ben for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. We're giving away those Rod Stewart tickets coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Stay tuned for that. A week from Friday, he'll be in concert. We'll send somebody to the concert. NBA Finals, Game 4 tonight, PK. This is when series start to get interesting. Well, I guess if it's a 3-0, then we're kind of giving up on them. But most of them tend to be 2-1. And 2-1 is super interesting because the team that's ahead, it's not over, but you got a great grip on the series. And if the other team comes back and ties it up, especially in this case where it'd be a fourth straight road win, that would be you talk about you were saying earlier, there's just so little momentum in hockey. You're always just one bounce away from feeling completely different. But that would be a big old momentum swing for New York, who, man, that was such a party before Game 3. If they have to go back to San Antonio tied 2-2, momentum, especially with a young team like San Antonio.
Degrees. Yeah. I think that every game is critical, obviously, but this goes a long way to determining the series. I can argue that whoever wins will be the winner. Momentum then would be completely with San Antonio. They will have adjusted. And
they're the young team that's figuring it out.
And they had the more difficult series, obviously going 7 versus a sweep for New York, so they were a little gassed, and they had to refocus, yada, yada. And they withstood New York's best punch. Clearly, they can argue that, and they have every right and fact behind them to argue that. And one of the games that they lost, they missed an open jump shot. And so it could have gone either way, right?
So then you can really rationalize, well, in Game 1, the Knicks were fresh and ready to go, and they were exhausted. And since then, look at what we've done.
Right. They had time to regroup more and study more and blah, blah, blah.
And we're young guys who are figuring it out, and we are indeed figuring it out.
And, And the coaching staff, too. He's a young guy. And so at the same time, if the Knicks win, then they got a stranglehold on the series, and you have to win, obviously, only 1 of 3. So not that I don't think it's over in that regard. You're just going 3-1. I think that's still a series. To me, I want to see the Knicks come out. They were running uphill the entire game. I want to see them be the aggressor. I think they were on their heels, and I think San Antonio made a marked effort to just jam the ball down the basket as much as they possibly could, be physical, be tough. Now you got the Knicks folks saying, we're going to respond and all that. Okay, so you caught them off guard a little bit. Now New York should be ready for that. How's that going to be? But if I'm San Antonio, that is your method. You got some strong dudes there who play the perimeter, Castle being one of them. And a couple other guys, too. Johnson Harper coming off the bench. Harper, still a younger guy. I mean, they're all younger guys. But at the same time, you've got some strength, and take advantage of it. And New York doesn't have a big intimidator at the rim, so go at it. Why not? Why settle?
I see, and you say just keep going at it. I felt like there were times in the game where they stopped. And then there'd be a timeout, and the coaches would lean into them again, and they'd start to do it again. And this probably goes back to
everybody plays below par golf, even though they're below par golfer.
That's part of it, and maybe it goes back to the if they were a little more veterans, they'd realize with each possession have a little better feel for the game. Maybe they get caught up in it a little bit at times.
It's hard to be a peak for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Wembanyama plays big minutes again. I mean, we've seen in the regular season and early in the playoffs, he was getting a break in the middle of quarters, and they're conserving his minutes. But there was a different deal. The season's on the line in Game 3. He goes 39 minutes. He doesn't sit in the fourth quarter.
Well, whatever their analytics show that he needs to do for rest, this is all studied out.
Yep.
And they don't leave anything for chance. And so they monitor all this stuff, and whatever those results show, that's what you do. And maybe if you have to go a little bit longer, 2 or 3, 4 minutes longer, so be it. Especially, if it goes into overtime, because everybody's going a little bit longer at that point, so it should wash out. What is a disadvantage for you is also a disadvantage for everybody else. So, don't settle for perimeter shots. Don't settle. Force the issue. And New York taking 10 threes in the fourth quarter and missing every one of them, stupid. They're settling. Don't settle. 2 is better than 0. That's my line. I always hear 3 is better than 2. I quickly come back, 2 is better than 0.
Don't be afraid to go inside the cat.
And if you're 0 for 10, and OG Anunoby
he
was getting the bug. He's a strong dude. And he's got athleticism, so when he gets a step, he can go up and put that ball right in there with a dunk, too. And so be aggressive in everything that you're going to do.
Will the free throws even out? Spurs 32-22 advantage there. I did hear as the national debate went back and forth on this. Yeah, the free throws were 32-22, but the fouls were 23-21. You know, and you always go to that Steve Cleveland line when you heard the ref tell me to even it up. 23 fouls on the Knicks, 21 on the Spurs. And the Knicks obviously fouled at the end of the game on purpose. So if you want to go to that and say, well, they fouled, there's 2 free throws and a foul right there.
I think the thing that got under Brown's skin was that the Knicks had 3 fouls in the first minute or two of the fourth quarter, and then that determines how you defend. And I think that was the issue. If I'm a referee, if I can let that go, I let that go. I've never believed a foul is a foul is a foul at all times. This is an entertainment product, and putting the Knicks behind the 8 ball from the foul standpoint right off the bat in the fourth quarter, that changes their strategy a little bit. If it's an obvious one and you got to call it. But if you don't put them at a disadvantage.
And I think that not only does that change the way the Knicks defend, that changes the way the Spurs attack. Because they are hearing from their coaches, hey, we're in the bonus. They can't touch you. You know? They bump you 20 feet from the hoop, you're going to the line.
Well, I think Mitch Johnson looked at Castle and said, can't touch this. Whoa, 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 can't touch this. Whoa, 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 can't touch this. I think that's what he said.
Yak, what time is it?
It's
break time.
8:01.
No, it's break time.
Whoa, whoa.
Once PK slides into MC Hammer,
can't touch us. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
When we come back, the athletic director set the stage. What will the presidents and chancellors do? The Big 12, trying to figure out Texas Tech and Brendan Sorsby. That is
whoa.
That is next.
He used to be a ball boy for the A's.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.